Hi, Albina. How are you?
Hi, 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 lady. And I'm fine, thank you.
Very good.
But today I am I will be able only listen. Mhm.
Okay, no problem.
Yes,
Everybody,
maybe about 20 minutes I may to answer to speak. After 20 minutes
no,
I will not able to speak.
no
Yes.
problem. I understand.
Mhm.
But
Yes.
Albina, just after 20 minutes, just tell me, then I will remember, okay? Because I'll be
Yes.
going with the class and I might lose track and I might forget. So
Yes.
just tell me after 20 minutes that you won't be able to speak and you're just listening. Okay?
Yes. One information is for me. Today and tomorrow and after tomorrow I will business trip. That is why 2 days I don't able to be with you. Mhm.
Don't worry. So you can
Yes.
listen to the recording. You don't have to worry at all.
Yes. 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 Thank you.
And about Isra, hi, how are you, Isra?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing great, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good, Alhamdulillah. Now I'm back. I was good. I was not that bad. I had a bad migraine, and the screen was a problem to look. I would get a headache. It would become worse. So that's the reason I avoided. That's all. There's nothing else. But Alhamdulillah, all good. So thanks, ladies, for all your well wishes and everything. I hope you all had an amazing day today as you started by. We are going ahead with the day. And I hope everything is good at your end. And let's start the class positively. And let's begin. I will be sharing your notes, I think tomorrow morning. And I will be also giving you all assignments by not this week, the next week. I will be giving you all assignments so that you all can train your brain to build your skills slowly and steadily. Okay?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes.
I had a question.
Yes. Come, tell me before I start. That's great. Come on, tell me.
It's related to the form we had to fill. Saliha sent us a Google link form, and then over there in the end, there was a sample of a certificate, the RTA certificate,
Mhm.
and then it had grades. So, ma'am, I just wanted to know if we will be graded and how will we be graded?
See, generally, it depends on overall performance. Like, for example, how you interact in the class. It will also depend on the assignments, how you update on time, how do you perform in your assignments. This all determines, we are not judging you, but it determines your efficiency, like any other course that you do. It depends
Yes.
how efficient you are, how capable you are, and how much of understanding you have gained in the subject itself, right? That's the reason we give assignments, we do observations. That's the reason. That's a primary reason.
Yes, ma'am.
I will be actually, it's nothing to judge anybody, but it is just to analyze and acknowledge as an educator that how much my students have learned from me and how much are they going to implement, so that when you implement this course in your real life skills, it should be accurate and it should provide value, it should be realistic. So that's the reason we will be grading you. That's the primary reason, because this is a subject, any subject, even I teach early childhood education. I do the assessments. I do also, the students have to submit the assignments. I go through them. I can really visualize and understand in their skills of writing and expressing what they've understood in the course. So that's how they'll be assured that they know the skill, and I can assure them they have understood. So in that case, they can work as educators in nurseries. So any subject that I teach, the KHDA also requires you all to do the assignments so that you all can perform well wherever you work or whatever you do. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Really looking forward for the assignment. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks. Okay. So now let me start off with a positive note. Afsha doesn't want to be disturbed, so I wouldn't talk to Afsha today. Albina, in 20 minutes, update me that when you're going out so I don't forget. You want to keep it on mute after 20 minutes because I think you're busy. So just update so that I do not lose track. That's it. Okay, we were doing about the unconscious, super duper unconscious brain, right? The mind. Okay, so
Yes,
we did like up to which number did we do?
temporarily.
Okay,
We had to start by subject.
by listening events on timelines. That's the one
Yes.
yeah,
No, ma'am, the
by
by
subject. Okay,
subject.
okay, okay. Sorry.
No
So
problem.
by subject, creating a group of linked types. Sorry. Now our brain has links. For example, I may link a happy event into a sad event, right? I may link, for example, it's all about how you have um, experienced those feelings. Like, for example, I'll give you a good example. For example, um, if I'm having a party that I've attended to, I'm very happy when I'm going for the party. But something goes wrong there and some negativity happens. Like, for example, there is some disaster over there, accident, a disaster. That happiness deteriorates into a sadness, right?
Yes.
So that there is a contrast between the joy and the sorrow over there. So when I was getting ready, I had so many positive thought processes in my mind. Wow, I'll meet my friends. I'm going to eat. It's a high tea. I will eat amazing food. Maybe I'm a fan of chocolate cake. I'm waiting to go and eat that specific chocolate cake in that specific uh, cafe. Whatever. Okay, I'm just giving you random examples. But once I go there, God forbid there is a fire as we are enjoying the party. So the whole process becomes a negative event in the brain. So, how the journey between that positivity and negativity, how will you look? Will you look at the entire event as positive, or later on, after this has happened, will you look at it as a total negative event? What would you see in your unconscious mind? I gave you a picture of the situation. Okay. Uh,
Yes.
I created the situation. I gave a picture of the situation. It has formed into a negativity, even though you started very positively. Your heart was excited, your mind was excited, your physical condition was really good because you were dressing up, you were you were building yourself to enjoy a day out. That was your mind thought process at that point. But when you went, you were enjoying, and suddenly a disaster happened and you had to flee from there. So these events in the future, what will they look like? Will it be a total negative event, or will it be positive balance of positive and negative? How will you think of it? I'm just asking you all, what is your opinion?
I think it will be a balance. It
Sorry,
will be a
sorry to interrupt. Give me 1 second. I'll just give this point before I forget. Sorry, Isra.
sorry. Yes, ma'am, no problem.
Sorry for interrupting. So, actually, will you relate this story as a happy event or a bad event to somebody after this happened? How will you relate? Okay. Now you can answer the question. Sorry.
Ma'am, can I think for a minute or maybe less?
Think you can think. Albina, did you understand the question?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
How will you tell your friends or anybody? Because first you were very happy, Then you became very sad because there was a fire in the party. Okay, I'm giving you just a hypothetical example, right? So,
Mhm.
will you relate this event as a positive or a negative?
About me? Yes.
Yes, yes, you tell
Yes.
me.
Um, I think that every event, every event consists of negative and positive hands moments.
Yes, exactly.
That is why I think that in every moment, uh, exists balance.
Exactly.
Yes, and every people itself solve how want to look in positive, maybe or negative.
Yes,
But every event is in the balance.
exactly.
Every events consist of negative and positive
Exactly.
hands in a
Now, what
moment.
Albina is trying to say is that every event is positive, has its
Yes,
positivities and negativities. You have to look at the positives and the negative. Now, for example, the effect of that event has made you sad. Like, for example, you went for a party, there is a fire there after you go.
mhm.
So you are very sad in your heart. But how will you explain to somebody what happened? Will you think of all the happy moments, or will you only think of the sad fire? What will you think at that moment?
Yes,
You
yes,
will have you will think of the worst thing that happened, or from the start will you think of each event? You went, you woke up. When people tell a story, how do they tell you?
Ma'am,
That
can I
morning
answer?
I was so happy. I dressed so happily. Then when we went over there, the food was amazing. Suddenly everything changed. And there was a huge fire and we were so stressed out. Now you're telling everything was okay and suddenly everything became horrible, right?
Yes.
yes,
So that's how you will start. Like, I didn't even expect that. I thought everything is going to be beautiful. How sad it was. So now you're starting the story saying that it was a happy day. You didn't even think any incident in anybody's life. Even when you see the news, right? If they
Yes.
something happened in some city or something, or maybe there was a, God forbid, earthquake, right? They will start. Everything seemed normal on that specific morning, but in a little while the whole city was destroyed, right? So
Yes.
how they start, everything seems normal, everything seemed good, everything seemed, the weather seemed, if there is a typhoon or a cyclone, they will start, the weather seemed quite perfect for travel. But as we departed this city, New York, the weather became horrible and there was a terrible thunderstorm and we had very bad turbulent conditions. So we start with a positive note, we go into the most negative note. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Anybody can notice that patterns. Those are that's how we relate to any situation, because we never, what we don't expect, when something happens that we have never expected in life, it becomes a um, big thought process that goes and gets stuck in the brain. It is collected in the negative, it's collected in the unconscious mind, it is stored in your mind. Maybe after 10 years you will relate this story to your child, but you will start like that. One morning when I was small, I went out with my mom, everything was so beautiful, suddenly we saw a huge fire, right?
Yes.
So
mhm.
Yes.
you will relate piece by piece, exactly. That's how the brain has absorbed it. Okay, that's what exactly the brain has absorbed.
Mhm.
So when we relate to our situations, our lives, our events that happen during our lifespan, we relate to everything in that way. When we talk to somebody, we give that. Even when you hear, when CNN news also, like if they're talking about a city, a country, about some disaster, they'll start off like, It seemed quite a quiet, normal day, and then the progression of the story will be with the news, right? What exactly happened.
Yes.
So it is very interesting to see the human brain, which has linked different kinds of situations in different scenarios. So the brain has its own capacity to link things, So it's really interesting how people create those circumstances, but remember the positivity before that happened also, you know. They remember that before this happened, everything seemed normal. We were all very happy. So they remember that, and then they jump into the most horrible scenario of their life. So what do you think that the brain feels when whenever you have told a story like that, or anybody in any circumstance, it may be small or big, has faced some kind of event. It can be a small argument, it can be something bigger. So you would have never thought there'll be an argument when you went to that place, but it turned out to be something really uh, not very pleasant, right?
Yes.
So what you do is, so you always in NLP, what you can do is you can always gauge your behavior when you're linking things from your unconscious mind and relating to somebody. You're bringing out the unconscious mind and connecting it to the conscious mind, because you're talking about it now. You're connecting it, to today.
Yes.
You're connecting while you're talking your unconscious story. You're consciously thinking and talking. Okay, you just don't go and talk about some incident without any context, right? When somebody is discussing about some event happened to them, then you remember that this happened to me. So what you do, you bring it out of the unconscious mind and put it through your conscious mind, because that is the context of the question, conversation. Did you understand? We don't do
Yes.
anything without context. Like, for example, when we are talking about something, I'll remember some example. So I'll quickly think of that example, because I'm talking in context to the situation. Understood? To the
Yes.
Yes.
any questions?
No.
So, ma'am, just wanted to confirm what I've understood. When we are gauging our mind, we are basically bringing that unconscious, the story which is in our unconscious mind to our conscious mind. Correct?
You know how we don't always, but we have to do that always, because you know why? Because when somebody is talking about an incident, then we are thinking with our conscious mind, oh, this happened to me. And then what do you do? It goes into your unconscious mind and brings out that story.
Yes.
It's a connection, it's a link.
Yes.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, we never thought of our brain actually functioning so much. It's
exactly. When
amazing.
it happens automatically, you so you're chill. You don't have to
Yeah,
feel it. These are all
correct.
our experiences. When you study the brain, it's really interesting. So
Yes.
it really empowers you. Like when you're an NLP trainer, you can understand the person sitting opposite you so well. You can understand their thought processes while they talk, because you're listening, you're acknowledging, and you're using your training skills to understand the person. So you will know
Yes.
the intent of the person. You will not know exactly, but you'll know somewhat what is his intent, because you understand the language of your brain and the way that person expresses towards you. That is, if you really train yourself. So it represses, okay, memories that contain unresolved negative emotions. So you have lots of negative emotions. We all are born with negativity and positivity. The families we live with as children as well bring us the cultures, the families, the societies that we live in create those negative and positive emotions. Now, for example, if a child is kept in a home that they don't eat a certain kind of food, okay, maybe they're vegans or maybe they're non-vegans, right? So when they grow up also, they will not like, unless they change their taste, many do, like, they wouldn't like to shift uh, to be a non-veg or a vegetarian. It depends on their choices. But what will they, many people who live in vegetarian families who are grown up in a vegan family, they don't like to even taste or even touch a spoon that is used for a non-vegetarian dish. Yeah, because they, from childhood, they've collected those emotional context of not eating non-veg. So it is stored in their brain and they feel that, oh, it's not nice, right? And the
Mhm.
same way, like for example, if I live in a non-veg family, I will easily eat non-vegetarian food, right? Because I'm used to it from childhood. Same way, if you travel to a country like a different country with different cuisines, the way they cook, the way they eat. Children who are adaptive, who have traveled a lot, who have tasted different cuisine, who are excited to taste different cuisines, their taste buds are used to different tastes, so they enjoy it. But the people who haven't, tasted different foods, different kinds of cuisines, for them to taste a new cuisine and like it, it takes more longer time than a person from childhood. If you've traveled a lot, tasted different foods, and you enjoyed different cultural foods, it'll be very easy to adapt to the taste buds, right? So the negative and the positive emotions will work like this. The person who has experiences in life will embrace different experiences happily. They'll use the happy emotion because they like experiences, they like adventure, they like to taste, to feel, to enjoy. But the people who have not got adventurous experiences during their growth and their childhood and their adulthood, they will look at this as a stressful situation. They will say, oh my God, I was traveling with someone, and that person was not used to traveling constantly, and everything was a complaint. Oh, I can't eat this food, it's horrible, while I ate everything because I'm used to. So
Yeah.
it is the negativity that those emotions created the negative formation, and the positive formation was a happy formation of emotions. Any questions?
No, it's very good example.
Yes, exactly. So
No.
understand people very well, and you know from where they have uh, created those emotions easily. If you know NLP, you will understand people. You will not look down upon them. Even if they don't want that kind of food, you will respect that. So the thing is, our negative and the positive emotions, I gave you about the food, but it can be anything. Yeah. Emotionally, the like and the feeling of dislike works in a way with your unconscious mind. Even though you want to try, your unconscious mind will say you never liked, you have never tried, don't try it. So something like that. I'm just giving a general example, by the way example. So what do you feel about the unconscious mind? Isn't it fabulous? It
Yes.
controls us, and oh my God, it's so amazing when you study about the brain. I just enjoy it. I never like to miss even one NLP class that I give, because it's like a passion for me. It's so nice to talk about the brain, and it feels so empowering that we are so powerful by God's grace that we can comprehend the people, the world around us. It's so beautiful, isn't it? It's miraculous.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
Yeah. The unconscious will represent repressed negative memories for resolution, and not always at most appropriate moment. The unconscious mind will represent repressed negative memories for resolution. Now, for example, we have something in our mind. I have seen this, like in the sense, like for example, mm, this there was this person who went and saw this. Uh, the in when you go for desert safari and all, you get these fire eaters. They just demonstrate for fun. You've seen?
Yes.
Yeah. I had taken a foreigner for this for a holiday. I mean, for the desert safari, and she had such a bad memory about fire that she was a grown up woman. She she was very far away from that active I mean, whatever that fire eaters were doing, the activity. But she went so backward and she said, oh my God, I feel scared. Because in her unconscious mind, she remembered an incident with fire long time ago when she was young. Even though she was grown up, she knows that will not affect her. Obviously, it's just a activity. She just moved back. She backed off unconsciously. It was an
Yes.
unconscious decision without even she knowing. Then she told me, you know something? I'm crazy, you know. I did it so unconsciously. Then what happened? Those memories, negative memories came into her mind. She told me the entire story. And then we were laughing how the negative mind reacted without even her consciousness, even without her
Yes.
even seeing, feeling, or, you know, it just made her do it automatically. Now, for example, it's just like this. When I call Isra, what does she do? She says yes, right?
Yes.
Yes, you say yes. What is it? Because you have been called Isra millions of times from childhood. You feel that name belongs to you, right? You own,
Yes.
right? So when I call you Isra, I don't have to say, you don't have to sit and think, is my name Isra? You don't have to think that. It will, you, before even you could comprehend anything, you say yes. Yeah?
Yes.
Yes. So our unconscious mind works so fast, you know. That's what. When this lady's reaction was so quick, that means what happened there? She was standing, she was watching something to do with fire, which was just a fun activity, but automatically she took 3 4 steps backward without her knowledge. Then
Yes.
she realized, and then she told me the situation, and she was laughing about it. It can occur in the most appropriate moment, or it can happen in a non-appropriate moment as well. It depends on your unconscious mind. It's all
Yes.
our unconscious and conscious mind. It may
Ma'am,
con-
that
yeah.
ma'am, ma'am, that makes me realize of something.
Mhm.
I can't recall of any bad memory that I had with holes. You know, like a small area which has a lot of holes in it. If I'm clear with what I'm saying, like if there's a small
Come again.
area and it,
Isra, come
uh,
again. Sorry.
like if there's a small area, for example, if it's a dry land and if it has a lot of small little holes, it
Mm.
just gives me a very weird vibe. I don't know, I just feel I'm scared, or a feeling of cringiness that I get. um I get that when I look at a lot of holes together.
So
I
that
don't know why.
something must be activating your fear, or maybe a feeling that you really don't know what you're connecting, what are you linking with. Your
Yeah, I don't.
mind doesn't know what are you linking with. So you're very confused. Why do you feel that way? Some people will be scared of height. Some people will be scared of certain things. Like some people are scared of even strings, long strings. They're scared of strings. It can
Hmm.
be due to something that happened in their childhood, which they don't know, they can't remember. But there is a memory that is stored without your knowledge. Because whatever we do, the unconscious mind reads it. It keeps it. It keeps it. But you know, most of them leave us by memory loss, or we forget with lots of things. But certain things get stored in a way that it only comes back when you look at a picture. It only comes back in that scenario, and sometimes you cannot recall why. You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
it's a very strange thing the brain is, you know,
Yes.
very strange mechanism, I think. Organ that's
Definitely.
still strange, you know. It may continue to repress negative memories to protect you, so allowing you to live life normally. So some negative memories are good to protect us, okay? So allowing you to live life normally. For example, you will ask, how can a negative thing make you feel happy, right? Or negative thing, how can it comfort you? Something negative. Now, when you take COVID, for example, We all took the vaccination, right? What happened?
Yes.
Some people were doubtful because we were not sure whether it had side effects. We thought it was too quick. The research was too quick to be absorbed by us, or we couldn't absorb the fact that it was so quickly created and given to all the human beings. We were scared, but what did we do? How did we make that negative thought process into the positive thought process? What did we choose? We choose to take the vaccine so that we can live, so that we can be fine, so our community won't be sick, right?
Yes. Yes.
So we opted for the negative thought process. We changed into positivity, right?
Yes.
So we wanted a normal life. So we changed the entire perception into a normal thought process. We were ready to take it. We were ready to give our families, so that we wanted to see a healthy society, and we didn't want anything bad to happen to our loved ones. Okay. So we took a negative thought process, we brought it into our mind, stored it in our mind, we evaluated the advantages and disadvantages, and we took only the positive part of it.
Advantages.
Yeah,
Yes.
we only took the positive and we left the rest. We all took a big jump of faith. Even we don't know what's inside the vaccine. We don't know what went through the vaccine to our body. There were so many stories online that this was bad, something will happen to you, this. Even today there are that Pfizer has this issues, that issues. But still, what did we do? We changed all those negativities into positive, because the
Yes.
fear factor was higher to die of COVID than taking the vaccine, right? So we opted for the best next option, right? So it runs your body system. Example, the unconscious mind runs your body system, heart, breathing, etc. It seems that it has a detailed knowledge of your body in the now, and what your body would be in perfect health. Now, have you ever realized in your unconscious mind, you sometimes feel in a feeling you get that I'm not feeling good, I'm going to fall sick, right? Sometimes you
Yes.
get that feeling, right? Everybody
Yes.
does. Everybody does. Some people get the feeling of being safe. Now, it keeps our heart beating, breathing, whatever. We breathe through we keep breathing. Okay, our heart keeps beating, and we always think, why do we need the unconscious mind? If we didn't have the memory of unconscious mind, we wouldn't have survived it. How would we learn what we learn? Because we are not born with a manual, right? We're human commodities. We are not born definitely with a manual, like a washing machine or a dishwasher that you get with a booklet, a manual. We are not like that. We are created. Each person has its own family. We learn from the world around us and we grow up, right?
Yes.
Like each day we learn something new. We go to a nursery as children. We learn the alphabets, we learn the numbers, we grow up, we go to school, college, university, then we graduate. Okay, what has happened through that process of life? We learn through the experiences we get. What are the experiences? Classroom experiences, home experiences, family bonding experiences. We have extreme experiences in life, right? So
Yes.
that's the reason everybody is unique. Even in one family, all the children are unique. They are not the same. You might find yourself different to your sister or brother. Why? It shows how you absorbed your surrounding.
Mm.
Like when I tell you three people go for Olympics and only one wins. Why? Three people, those three candidates, they get the same training, same instructor, same opportunities, same grounds. They get everything, but only one gets the gold medal. Why? Because he thinks differently than the rest, the other two, right?
Yes.
His thought process is far more different than others. So he thinks of him as a self-worthy, capable, a go-getter human being. So the perception, the mindset creates the winning performance, right? Because he puts hard work into it.
Yes.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. The primary function of the unconscious is like preservation. Like, the unconscious mind is preserving the memories of the past or the present. Like, for example, unconscious mind always like, in the sense what happened in the morning, it's present, he's preserving, it's preserving the unconscious uh, activities that, I mean, the conscious activities that go into unconscious mind. Like in the morning today, what did I do? I had some cereal, so that's in my mind. Okay. I went out early morning for a walk, so that's in my mind. Maybe I saw something, it's still in my mind, so it's preserved in my mind. Okay. You see a movie, you listen to some music, or you do something like that. Sometimes people keep humming some music because that stays in your unconscious mind, and the beat is connecting to your vibes. So what happens is that you like the vibe of those beat, that really makes you happy. You start humming the song, right? But after a while it becomes a pain, because you keep uh, after that it becomes a pain, so you just consciously want to get rid of that beat. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so the brain itself is so interesting to study, to keep you alive and whole. That that makes you feel alive and whole. So it's quite interesting. It
So,
assures.
ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, just one question. Something we once discussed about bringing something to conscious mind from the unconscious mind, but what about removing something from the unconscious mind? Like this beat, which man you just talked about, that it's just there in this unconscious mind. How will we remove it then?
See, there is a way to do that. I will teach you all, because we have to switch therapy. That's called switch therapy. You have to
Okay.
how to switch one with one thought process to another. So I will be
Yes.
teaching switch therapy. Okay. This we
Yes,
do
ma'am.
with people who have anxiety, who have depression, from a bad state of mind. How do we bring them into a positive state of mind? That's what NLP works with. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
We will be doing that lesson soon. My throat is bad. It it assumes as correct the moral code you were taught and accepted as a child, and it follows. Uh, Actually, for example, uh, you had some thought process, right? You thought that was correct as a child. Okay. Because we learn a lot of things as a child, right? So we carry those things throughout our lives, right? So suddenly you thought this was correct. My mother taught me to be honest, right? So
Hmm.
that honesty still lives in all of us. It's like, our parents taught us to be honest, so we will try to be honest as much as we can, right?
Yes.
So that is something that you learn, to be truthful, honest, from your childhood, possibly. Okay. So what we do is, you were taught and accepted as a child and follows it implicitly. So you do it without even breaking that regulations. You stand in those regulations, because you were not taught yesterday to be honest. You were taught from your school, from your parents, from a long long time ago. It's been put into your unconscious mind. It's fed through your conscious, it has gone into the unconscious mind. So now you will never beat anybody, because you're taught not to beat anybody. You're taught not to lie. You're taught not to cheat. So you don't do all this because it's in your value system, right? In the
Yes.
unconscious mind, right? So you will have that forever. It will be a value system, a belief forever. It wants to serve you by taking and follow instruction from your unconscious, from your conscious mind. The unconscious mind wants to follow the instructions given by the conscious mind. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes,
That's what
definitely.
all about your unconscious mind. What do you feel about today's lesson till
It
that
was
part?
great.
Hmm?
Every day we're learning more about unconscious mind, and it's like a new mystery opening up every day.
Yes, exactly, it is. Because that way you're going to build the unconscious and the conscious mind in a positive manner. So that's that. These notes I have already shared, but what I'm going to share now is not shared. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
just a minute. Oh, I have to share this properly. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. Okay. Neuro linguistic program and its positive effects in your life. Neuro linguistic program NLP is always is a way to improve your personality. It is done by using language and other types of communication with what your body responses to after understanding that language. So, neuro linguistic is something that it connects to your personality. Okay, so that with your language skills you improve your personality, your communication skills, and you improve your personality through that. So basically neuro linguistic program is a way to improve your personality. It is done by using language and other types of communication with what your body responds to after understanding that language. Okay, any questions?
No.
Okay, neuro linguistic program is training to maintain a balance between your mind and communication abilities. It inspires the overall performance of an individual by which he can take control on their own emotions. So you get inspired to control your own emotions. Now, when I'm talking, I have a cough, for example, simple as that. So, what in my mind, I think, oh, I cannot. Then what do I think? There's a cup of water here. I just sip it. That is automatical. Okay.
Yes.
I don't have to
Yes.
make a sentence that, oh, I'm coughing. I need to take water. I'm not a robot. Okay. It happens so naturally because I have done this act many times. When I'm coughing, I take some warm water. I don't have to think step by step. Let me go and have hot water. It doesn't go like that. Okay.
Yes.
The reactions are so automatical because of the experiences the brain has. So we are not like robots. That's why we have the choice between the right and the wrong. We are programmed in a way that our experience have programmed us in that way. Okay. So it's really interesting. Hence, learning NLP gives you a greater control to be at your best and to achieve what you desire. But it is more than just techniques. It is an art to learn to communicate in a better way so that the world will also respond in a better way. So it's an art of speaking in a better way. It's a technique. It's about learning the art of communication, okay, so that the world will respond in a better way. Okay? It's all
Yes.
about our communication. If I'm talking, uh, irrelevant stuff in the class, you will not attend the
Hmm.
class. What will you do? You'll go and complain to the institute and say this is not relevant to the subject, right? So,
Correct.
since it's relevant, you're enjoying it because it's relating to the subject, right?
Yes.
You're responding to the relevancy that I provide, right?
Yes.
So, when we know the relevancy, we know the art of language, the art to communicate, art to build that rapport between people. We learn that through our communication, right?
Yes.
Create that through our communication. Once we do that communication, we build that ability of the best respond ever. And that's when we are successful, right?
Yes. Ma'am,
Mm.
please correct me if I'm wrong. So when we end up misunderstanding someone who's talking to us, is it because we are not being relevant to what they're saying?
Or the person is not relevant to what he is saying. Or maybe
No,
you're.
no.
Hmm?
Sorry, I'll rephrase my question.
Yeah.
If I end up misunderstanding the person who's talking to me,
Yes.
could the reason be because I don't relate to that person,
Yes,
or I'm
exactly.
not being relevant to that person?
Yes. For example, now I'm talking. If you cannot
Hmm.
relate to what I'm saying, you're misunderstanding whatever I'm teaching, but the rest of the class is understanding. That means there is a misconcept of understanding
Hmm.
between me and you.
Yes.
The thought process is not absorbing what I'm saying. You're totally into misconception of my language skills. Understood?
Okay. Okay. So even to understand the other person, like even to understand our tutor,
You have to have a,
anyone,
yeah, obviously.
will have to understand their communication skills.
Obviously. Now, if I talk French, will you understand me?
No.
It's like that even if I speak in English and you know English, but if your mind does not connect, sorry, then what will happen? Even if I speak the best English on planet Earth, you will not absorb what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
So it
Yes.
doesn't have any relevancy over there. Even though I'm relevant to the subject, your brain does not connect with the person. Language,
Yes.
okay? In simple words, learning NLP is like learning the language of your mind. The principle of NLP is that if the person is in complete charge of the mind, then his life will be his control. The problem with people, depression, anxiety, sorrow, which is not real, okay, out of control. Some people, like, I have friends who call me depressed, I'm feeling unhappy. They don't have any major disease like life threatening diseases. They have minor problems. Like, it's so funny that like, in the sense, it's so funny the problems I encounter, and it's so funny that people feel stressed out, but it is normal. It's not normal. It is a brain absorbing skill. For me, if somebody doesn't even say good morning to me, a friend, I wouldn't mind it. I will sit and think
Yes.
maybe she was not in a mood. Maybe she was preoccupied. I'll always give the best judge. I will not judge her. The best ever clarity to the situation. I can say that, not judgment. So I'll say maybe she was not in a mood. Maybe she didn't feel like speaking to me. Maybe she'll speak to me later. Now, why did I do that? I had control of my emotions, right?
Yes.
I was in charge of my mind to feel what the other person feels, right?
Yes.
But if I'm not in charge of my mind, then what will happen?
Will judge people.
I will judge people. I'll say, what the hell? Why didn't she speak to me? That's so unkind. That's so rude. That's so inappropriate, right?
Yes.
Then what will I create? I'll create patterns those are not relevant in my brain. Am I
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
So NLP is a tool which helps you with your overall development. It teaches you to trust yourself in any situation. So it is necessary to make your mind healthy, your personality impressive, so that you can also encourage others, right?
Yes. Ma'am, is it me? I'm so sorry, ma'am. I don't know. I feel today I think you're a bit quicker. Because I am writing really fast.
Oh, sorry. I'm
I'm
quicker.
I'm so sorry. I
No, no,
feel
don't be sorry. Why am I quicker? Because I
okay.
want to train your brain to absorb
Hmm.
things quickly. You see, the
Okay.
first classes were very slow. Now I'm
Yes.
quick, 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 because I want your brain to quickly absorb. Because your thought
Okay.
processes must absorb quickly so that your reactions are quick.
Okay. Would you recommend me
It's
taking
like
notes or
just
no?
giving up. Hmm?
Sorry.
Sorry, sorry.
Would you recommend me taking notes or no?
You can take notes which are important, but not every single thing, because I'm going to give you the notes itself. Sorry.
Yes.
It
Yes.
doesn't make sense.
Yes, ma'am.
So why I did that? Because I want your brain to absorb things quickly. This is
Yes.
a session to train your brain. So initial 1 week was very slow, very cool. Now it's going to be fast and steady, and we are going to work so many. If we don't get this speed, in 30 hours, we will be only done part of the course.
Okay. No problem, ma'am.
Huge. It's huge.
Yes. Yes, I
We can't
understand.
afford to do that, because from next week I will tell you all to do activities spontaneously at that very moment. So if you're not quick, that means you're losing on time.
Yes.
The brain has to work as a counselor, as an educator, as an NLP trainer. Your brain has to work more faster, more accurately. So for that, if I'm babying, like telling, okay, we'll do this, we'll do it slowly. If I teach, your brain will not adapt to those situations. That's the reason. So I want your brain to, absorb quickly, because there's lots of things to absorb. So if I don't train your brain in that sector, you will not achieve those goals. That's the reason. Okay,
ma'am.
Isra? Sorry.
Yes, no problem.
Sorry. Even if it's still, if you want me another 1 week of going slow, I can go on your request.
No, that's okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Whatever you think is appropriate
Yeah,
for
that's
us.
how we do the NLP sessions. We initial stage we go very cool, and when we start off we go very fast. So the individual is training quickly so that she can make quick decisions when she is. That's the reason.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Tomorrow is a session where we will be doing activities. So today I will stop now, because 10 minutes extra I'm going to do tomorrow, because Hafsha will be there and Albina will be there. I cannot do without a group the activity. So as you
Okay,
come
ma'am.
tomorrow, first do the activity and then we will start off. We have another 8 minutes, so I will utilize it tomorrow because I need to do that activity. That's very important, the unconscious and the conscious mind activity. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you so much. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Albina. Have a great day. Thanks, Isra. Have
Yeah.
a fantastic day. Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice evening. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.